This is how one of the most forgotten superstars in NBA history fell off, Gilbert Arenas. And yes, there was a gun incident in the locker room, but that wasn't the main reason why his famed career fell off so quickly. This is the story of Agent Zero. Coming out of college, Gilbert was a top prospect. Coming off of a loss in the NCAA championship game, averaging 16 points, everyone wanted him. He was a top NBA draft prospect. He got drafted to the Warriors, but nothing much happened in his first seasons. He played all right. In 2003, though, he signed with the Memphis Grizzlies, and this is when things started to take off. For the first few seasons with Washington, he was one of the leading scorers and very exciting to watch. From 2004 to 2007, Gilbert Arenas was a three-time All-Star, three-time All-NBA, and he put up averages of 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals per game. He did this all between the ages of 23 and 25, and he wasn't even his prime age, and he was playing like an NBA Hall of Famer. In his career, he had 2 very memorable moments on the court. I'm not talking about his off-the-court self, by the way. The first one was a playoff matchup in 2006 against a young LeBron. Gilbert in this series averaged a crazy 34 points per game and even matching LeBron point for point. The Wizards did go on to lose this series in 6, but it really shows how impressive Gilbert really was. The second memorable moment was on December 17th in 2006 against the Los Angeles Lakers and prime Kobe Bryant. Gilbert dropped 60 points on prime Kobe. He also had a solid 8 assists and 8 rebounds to go along with that. The Wizards also went to go on and win that game, and it became one of the all-time NBA classic games. After hearing all this, you might be thinking, how the hell did Gilbert Arenas' career fall off? I mean, he's under the age of 25, dropping 60 on Kobe, and the fans are giving him nicknames such as Hibachi and Ancient Joe because how tough he is. Well, it first started on April 4th, 2007 in the regular season game against the Charlotte Bobcats. NBA vet Gerald Wallace drove it for a layup and on the way down collided with Gilbert's knee. This caused Gilbert's lucky knee to twist in a weird way, and it was eventually diagnosed as a lateral meniscus tear, and he needed surgery to repair it. But meniscus tears aren't very severe, only having a maximum 4-1 recovery time, so Gilbert did have to miss the playoffs, but that's not that severe. He could come back. At the time, Gilbert was very young. He was only 25, so he should have been able to recover fairly quick and spend his offseason getting his knee and himself ready for the 07 LA season. Fast forward to the start of this season, Gilbert couldn't have started any better, coming out dropping 34 points. But unfortunately, a month later, he was diagnosed with a partial meniscus tear on the same knee, meaning he had to get a second surgery on the same knee and getting fluid drained multiple times. Gilbert stated that he was very depressed and also super duper drained from all this, but he still had the dreams and hopes to come back as the old tar he once was. After coming back from the second surgery, Agent Zero had some great games, but the torn up left knee was still giving him some issues. His knee was just not responding how he thought it would. Maybe it was the surgery or the poor rehab. No one knows for sure what it was, but something was going on. Something was not right with his knee. At this point, Gilbert was becoming one of those big what if they didn't get injured players, like Key-Mac or Derrick Rose. But that offseason, the Wizards gave him a 6-year, $111 million contract. What? Maybe that's why the Wizards are so buns. Looking back at it now, this is a horrible contract because Gilbert never became the player he once was. But at the time, it made sense signing him. Even with that messed up knee, so many players have been able to come back from such a small injury. Fortunately, Arenas would be stuck with even worse news. On December 17th, 2008, Arenas had to get surgery again on the same knee for the 3rd time. So that next season, the 08-09 season, he only played 2 games. Fast forward to the 09-10 season, Gilbert started off pretty good, averaging 23 points. It looked like he was back. Maybe now he could take over the league. Yeah, you know what it is. There's a Netflix untold story about it. I don't know what to call it, but let's just call it the gun incident. In short, it all started on a plane ride with one of Gilbert's teammates, Javaris Crittenton. Crittenton was a very good player in high school, and he had just joined the Wizards 2 years before and having been putting up solid numbers throughout his career. On this plane ride, they had been gambling, telling jokes, and just trying to pass the time. These jokes led to a small altercation with Gilbert, saying he would shoot Crittenton, but allegedly it cooled off really quickly and they went back down in fun and gambling. But according to Quan Beller, one of Gilbert and Crittenton's teammate, there was still a little beef between them, and the next day Gilbert apparently showed up to the Wizards' locker room with 4 firearms. And when Crittenton walked in, Gilbert said, "Pick which one I'll shoot you with." Crittenton then responded by pulling out one of his firearms already loaded, and he pointed it at Arenas. So of course, the police were called and Gilbert got suspended for the rest of the season. Gilbert stated on the Netflix show that the suspension was longer than expected because he was allegedly smuggling weapons through the planes, but nobody knows for sure. At this point, Gilbert Arenas' career was on a nice edge because for the last 3 seasons, he had barely played any games. Multiple knee surgeries and this gun incident and suspension were too big to ignore. In the 2010-11 season, Gilbert played only 21 games before being traded to the Orlando Magic. This was good though. He was hopeful though, playing alongside prime Dwight Howard, things looked great. But Gilbert looked horrible. Arenas had regressed so much for the past seasons, and for the rest of the season, he averaged 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists on 34% shooting. He was only 29, but he still was not close to his former self. After being waived, he joined the Grizzlies in the 2011 season and averaged 4 points per game. Then the next day, he was shipped off to China to play for the Shanghai Sharks. Agent Zero basically retired at the age of 30. This makes him one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. But for him, he was a lucky one, because Javaris' story has an even more tragic ending.
Javaris Crittenton arrested last night at the Orange County Airport, the John Wayne Airport, after checking into a flight to Atlanta. The 23-year-old accused of shooting and killing Julian Jones. She's a 22-year-old mother of 4 outside her Atlanta home nearly 2 weeks ago. Detectives believe that Crittenton was actually targeting someone he thought had stolen jewelry from him and mistakenly shot her. His attorney saying that he's innocent of those charges.